Okay. So we're going to go back and cover Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. But I want to skip ahead to Chapter 9 because we may have a guest coming in, not next week, but the week after, that I think it would be good to have this kind of information in our background when that guest comes in. So we're going to move on to Chapter 9, and we're talking about business intelligence systems. Okay, so this is, remember even day one when we talked about what MIS is, we talked about management information systems, and information can be used to know something, and knowledge is power. And even in the world of statistics, day one we said statistics is a way to get information from data. Well, this is more and more important because we're generating so much data, and the companies that can use that data for competitive advantage are the ones that succeed. So we're going to talk today about business intelligence systems. And I want to kind of give, this figure kind of gives a breakdown of what a business intelligence system is. Okay, a system, as you guys know, consists of hardware, software, data, procedures, and people. So we're going to talk about BI applications. All right, so first we have to talk about where data comes from. Where does data come from that we make decisions on? And I'm going to call on you guys because I'm going to. So I want to talk first about operational data. That is one input into BI applications. So give me an example of operational data. What does it mean by operational data? What does it mean? Stephen, what's it mean? Okay, so give me an example of a process that creates our operational data. When is operational data created? You think you created any operational data today, Steve? Okay, sure. Okay, that could have been operational data. Did you buy anything today? Did you eat at Torbian? All right, so that is operational data. So operational data is data that is generated with the operation of our business. Okay, if you are Torbian in your general operation, people are swiping every day, right? So Stephen came in, he swiped. Elena came in, she swiped. That is operational data. If we are Amazon, people clicking on various things, that's operational data. If we're a bank, someone take out $50, that's operational data. If we're Walmart, someone buys a cantaloupe, that is operational data. Does that make sense? So any data that is generated as we operate our business. Okay? Next week, you guys are going to generate all kind of operational data by doing what? Registering for classes, yes? That's operational data. Data that's generated from the operations of our business. And there's tons of that, right? Everything is electronic now, so we're generating more and more operational data. What about social data? What is social data? The social data. Okay. To Facebook, right? Social networking. So what does that mean, though? Social data. Let's take it a little bit further. So operational data, how about social data? Like, what do you mean by Facebook? Like, what are the attributes of Facebook, of LinkedIn, of Twitter, of
keep people updated on, I guess.
Okay, so
Update your LinkedIn account presentable to other jobs.
Okay, you're right. But what kind of data can we glean from that? It's different than when you go and swipe at Torbian. What kind of data, the social data, what kind of data can be gathered from those kind of things that's different than operational data? Stephen?
Personal preferences.
Okay, so that's one thing, right? So socially, how you interact with things, like the companies that you like, perhaps, yes? Maybe as well, when we think about social, what's really, social network, what's real important when we talk about social? Yes? Yeah, your interaction, like who your connections are, right? And not just like who your friends are, but even a bank can have social data on you. For example, they know that my oldest son is named Lucas, right? And my youngest son is named Brock. They know that, right? They know that I have 5 children. They know that I'm married. So not just, data that can be gleaned from, as you said, social networking, right? But also, your various relationships with other people, right? And same thing on LinkedIn, like who your mentor might be there. So social data, that gets fed into this business intelligence application. The third one is purchase data. What do you think that is? What do you mean by purchase data? Have you ever purchased data? Have you ever bought data, Tommy?
I mean, well, you put your credit card information on the internet or something.
Okay. All right. I know what you're talking about, like purchase data, like your point of sale data, like you're making a purchase. We're not talking about that. We're talking about data you buy from someone on something, right? So I'm gathering operational data because my business is functioning. People are swiping cards. I'm getting data. I may have some social data. I may know that, hey, Tommy is related to this person. I may have that. But I might want to purchase data. So what do you think I can purchase?
Would it be something like QuickBooks, something that you're actually putting in, like the data are actually set up, you're just providing more data?
All right, so I know what you're saying. Like you're purchasing, data. Like you can purchase data. You're purchasing like digital goods. I'm talking about though, like I want to understand my customer. So I know I have operational data, right, that I generate. I know that I may have social data. I may have, if I'm a bank, for example, I know John Miko is the joint holder of Lucas Miko's checking, right? So I have some social data there. But what don't I have that maybe I need to go out and buy? That's what I'm talking about here.
I know, like, sales companies and stuff buy, like, telephone numbers and have some personal information to make contacts with other people.
Okay, so you can go out, okay? Just like there's catalogs of, you want to buy a computer, so there's computer catalogs, right? You can buy this type of computer, this type of laptop. Or there's a catalog, you can buy this type of phone. You can go out and purchase data. Data about customers, or data about prospective customers, or potential customers. So I want to show you a catalog that I have on Blackboard. And this is from a company called, it's under course material by chapter 9. Something, what is it? Oh, it's outside. And it's a company called Axiom. And this is their consumer data products catalog. So this is data that they will sell on consumers. Not necessarily their consumers, but they are what we call a data supplier. They go out and buy data from people that create data or that gather data, and then they resell it. Okay, they resell it to people of interest that are interested in it. So I want to show you the type of data that you can buy. Okay, we can buy, this is data enhancement, we can buy information to know if you are a member of LinkedIn, if you're a member of MySpace, which I don't think anyone is anymore, the number of friends you have, the number of sites you visit. We can buy things on, what language you speak. So we have information on John Miko, but we also want to know, does he use a bank card? Okay, what is his newest auto loan? Does he have a revolving bank card balance? Is he an investor? Is he highly likely to be an investor? Does he use gold? What's his apartment number? What's his home loan to value? Like, how wealthy is he, or how much debt does he have? Does he have a pool? Does he have a roof, or what kind of roof does he have? We have the credit card usage. Does he have a gasoline retail card? Does he have a cell phone? Does he have a daytime TV? Does he have internet? Does he have primetime TV? Does he have cholesterol issues? Does he have diabetic issues? Does he buy a lot of organic food? Does he have arthritis and mobility issues? Does he have senior needs? Do we classify him as a senior? All these kind of things. The new vehicle brand. Does he like to buy a certain brand of vehicle? All this information can be bought on people. Okay? Why would I go and buy this information? It costs money. Does he have corrective lenses? Is he married? Is he newlywed? Is he a new mover? All this stuff. Is he a new parent? All this stuff can be bought. Why would I go out and buy it? Yes.
If you're like a car company or something, is that part of their, who your target market is?
Okay, so I want to do a marketing campaign, for example, right? But I don't want to just blindly send out, 10,000 emails or 1 million emails. I don't want to blindly send out, 100,000 postcards for a special offer. What I'd really like to do is maybe understand a subset that may be interested in my product, right? Maybe I'm looking for, I don't know, males in the 25 to 40-year-old range that live in this area that have also bought a car in the last 5 years, that have bought a Subaru, something to that effect, right? Maybe that's the target market that I want to target, right? That's the demographic that I want to market to. So my question is, this Axiom company, which I can go out and buy this data, where do they get the data from? So they're selling me data. Where do they get the data from? Where do you think they get the data from? Did you go to Axiom and say, here's all my data, here's my bank card, blah, blah, blah. Where do you think they get all of that data from? Go ahead.
Buy it from the people that you're like buying your news from and things like that. Some of them have privacy rules.
Okay, very good. Some of them have privacy rules. How many times? Every year, you're supposed to get, every year, a privacy statement. You guys, like if you have a credit card, you ever get a privacy statement? You know what I'm talking about? You guys ever see a privacy statement that you got for your credit card? Usually the font on it is like microscopic. And basically what they'll do is they say, this is what we're doing with your data. We're selling, they basically, the default is, we are selling your information. We are selling the fact that John Miko has a Subaru Forester that he bought at this location, and he owes this much on. They're selling that information to companies like Axiom, right? And not just John Miko, but anyone that they have a loan for, they'll sell it in bulk to Axiom, and then Axiom will resell it. Facebook will say, we're going to sell your data to Axiom. We're going to sell that, hey, this is how many Facebook friends you have, this is what you think you've liked, right? Pandora will sell your data, will say, this is the kind of music that Steven likes, right? All those kind of places help. St. Francis, or I don't think we, I shouldn't say that, I don't know. I don't think we sell your data. We probably could, but I don't think we do. But think about that. So you get these privacy statements, and anyone ever read those privacy statements? They basically say, this is what we're going to do with your data, unless you opt out, right? But how many of us, we just chuck that in the garbage? You guys know what I'm saying? Okay, so all this data, not all this data is captured for every individual, but there is a lot that is captured. It's amazing, corrective lenses. If you go to an optometrist, they're likely that if they sold your data, right? They probably sold your data to Axiom. That, hey, John Miko is blind as a bat, right? He needs corrective lenses. All these things are there. Height, I don't know where they might get that from, but look at all the data, that we can buy from this Axiom. Just like a catalog of products, we can buy information on our customers. So if you think about it, okay, we have operational data on John Miko or JJ or Marcus. Maybe we have some social data, but we want a better picture of this customer of ours or a potential customer. Well, we can go out and augment that through purchasing data, right? Through purchasing data. So that's the third source, which is kind of crazy, isn't it? Kind of crazy to think the amount of information is like what magazines you subscribe to, what concerts you've gone to. You go through Ticketmaster, guaranteed they sold your data to someone. All that stuff is out there on you, right? It's kind of crazy to think about. So those are three sources of data. The fourth one is employee knowledge. Okay, so employee knowledge, that is more difficult to gather. Okay, so employee knowledge might be something like if you're a bank, the employee may personally know, hey, JJ is about to go off to college, so maybe that is something that we want to put out there. Or Marcus is about to get married, so maybe that's employee knowledge. So maybe we want to start marketing, mortgages to him, okay, because maybe he's going to buy a home, okay? So employee knowledge is information that goes into this. So all these sources of data, okay, all these sources of data, and it's a lot, right? It's a lot of data that we potentially have, go into a business intelligence application. Okay, what does an application do? An application analyzes data. And we're going to talk about this a little bit. We can do reporting, we can do data mining, we can do big data, we can do knowledge management. And this intelligence, that after the analysis, this intelligence goes to knowledge workers who can make decisions. All right, so this is it in a nutshell. This is what we're talking about in Chapter 9. I want to talk about I want you guys to give me some examples of BI applications, like organizations that use data, that do analysis on the data, and how do they apply it in the business world. Anything you've seen. Anything you've seen. So why is this important? So give me some examples. I'll give you some. The book has a few examples, and I have others. But give me some examples. Who might apply business intelligence to this data so that they can market to you or change things or do things differently? Give me an example. I'll give you a company, and you tell me an example. How about Amazon? Anyone ever purchased anything from Amazon? Mark, no. How many people purchase things from Amazon? All right, I'd say at least half. So give me an example of how Amazon might use a business intelligence application. Yes, sir.
They have that in Craigslist,
All right. That is a fantastic example, Dan. Okay. If you've ever bought anything from Amazon, what do? They say, hey, people that have bought this item also bought that item. So where do they get that from? Where do they get that information from, Dan? Okay, they have a slew of operational data, right? And they have, hey, we've had 100,000 people buy this item, and of those 100,000 people bought this item, 40,000 bought this other item as well. So we're going to put them together, right? We call that, we're going to do some of this ourselves. It's called market basket analysis, right? If this goes in your basket, then this typically goes in your basket as well. And you think about it, stores have done that for years. What do they put by the paint cans? They put paintbrushes, right? Because people that buy paint typically buy paintbrushes. You guys know what I'm talking about? So that is a business intelligence application. Very good. What else? That's very good, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. What else? What else? Give me another application. How about entertainment? You guys use online entertainment services of some sort. I know you do. So how do online entertainment services use business intelligence applications? Eric, do you have something for me?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like I just bought Ticketmaster.
Okay.
I just bought a concert, tickets for concert, and then the next day I got an email from them saying, "Since you bought this, you'd be interested in this, and this."
Okay.
application."
Yeah, very good, right? And so they use it for marketing purposes, yes? And if you've ever gone, you don't even have to buy something from like an Amazon. They even capture something called clickstream data. You guys know what clickstream data is? It's operational data, but it's not that you bought something. They track where you clicked, right? That you looked at this page. Okay, that you were on this page for 20 seconds on Amazon. So you know what they're thinking. They're like trying to get in your mind. They're saying, hey, John Miko's thinking about buying product ABC. So what do you get in your email the next day? You get an email for, hey, ABC is right now, it's maybe on special. Maybe they give you 5% off. Yes. You bought concert tickets, so they say, well, maybe you'd be interested in this other concert that happened. Okay. We had our guest in. Some of you guys weren't here on Friday. Our guest was from Casper.com. They sell mattresses, yes? Okay. Online mattresses. So as she was in, she's a great speaker. I went and I checked out that website. I checked out Casper.com. I spent a few minutes there. Well, what do you think I started noticing in the last couple days in my social media ads? They think I need a mattress, right? Because I don't think I do, but I went to Casper.com, and because I went to Casper.com, all my ads, when I come up Gmail on the side, says, hey, they're Casper.com or a couple other different companies are marketing for me. What else? How about other entertainment applications? So that's good. What else? What other services might you use? Yes.
Netflix, like when you watch a certain video or a certain TV show, all your filters are like based on genres and stuff.
Okay, so very good. So they think about, that's operational data that they have on you, right? That you watch this show, and they want even more. They say, not just that you watched it, but you watched it maybe for 3 days or 4 days or you give it 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars, right? And they know, they say, okay, people that like this, that gave this a 5 and maybe this a 2, typically also like this, right? So that's the recommendation engine they have. Same thing with items like Pandora, right? If you guys have used Pandora, the same kind of thing. They even use it beyond that, beyond recommending what you should watch. They have, and I just read this article not too long ago. You know, what do you do in Netflix that's kind of different than like a TV show? What do you guys do with Netflix? And I do it too. Like on a break, sometimes I'm ashamed of myself.
Watch it on TV.
You binge watch, right? And you find a series that you didn't discover, and you're like, holy cow, this is pretty good. Well, they also track where people typically, like, if they stop watching, where they stop watching. You guys know what I'm saying? Like you're 3 episodes in and you abandon that series, right? So that's information that they use now. So they found like, hey, the people that leave this series typically leave after 3 or 4 episodes. So what do you think they try to do now as they make new series? Knowing that. Exactly, right? Instead of saving for episode 10 the big thematic thing, they put in the good stuff in 3 or 4, right? Or some good stuff, right? Gratuitous things, right? Violence, whatever it might be, okay? So they try to use that information because they know what your patterns are, right? They've done all that analysis. Okay? So give me some other examples of BI applications. How about World Series just ended last night, right? World Series just ended last night. How about BI applications for sports? And you guys, some of you guys are Division I athletes, and we probably don't use it as much as a professional team does, but we should be using BI applications. What do you think? You watch World Series, Mark? You Mets fan, Mark? Royals fan?
I watch that too.
Yeah, I was cheering for the Royals. But I like the Pirates. BI applications for sports. Give me some. Come on. Alex, you're a baseball fan, aren't you? You're a Pirate fan as well, right? Give me something.
Would be like the advertisements they show during the
Okay, perhaps, right?
Super Bowl commercials.
That's true. They're tailored because they know you're a sport fan, probably a heavy male demographic, right? I'm thinking about the sport itself.
Coaches use like past statistics to predict what's going to happen and change the plays.
The good coaches do, right? She said coaches use past statistics to determine, hey, what to do in this situation. And if you think about Major League Baseball, how many people have watched a Major League Baseball game recently? They tracked every damn pitch. Not just, hey, this person made out. They tracked every pitch, how fast it came off the bat, what direction it went, okay? The break on the ball the person threw in, if the batter was right-handed or left-handed, what the result of the play was, did they shift? Think about all that operational data they capture. And what do? They analyzing it, looking for competitive advantage. When this guy gets up, we're going to throw all curveballs outside. Or we're going to shift the hell of it because 90 times out of 100, he hits on the right side of the infield. Yes? You guys seen this? Right? Baseball. Think about baseball as a sport. It's over 100 years old, and yet they're improving it. They're making it better, right? Why are they making it better? Not because some coach is like, I have a great idea. Because they're using business intelligence applications and human knowledge, human expertise to say, hey, we're going to play it this way. Have you noticed baseball teams shift more? You guys know what I'm talking about, shift more? The traditional alignment, they say, the hell with the traditional alignment that we've used for 150 years. We're going to put everyone over here because this is where this guy hits every damn time, right? I'm sure, some of you guys are Division I athletes. I'm sure before a game, Steve, you're a volleyball player. You guys look at tendencies of the other players. Like this guy, I don't know, serves deep. He always loops it over. This guy, I don't know anything about volleyball, but this guy,
It's
doesn't
very
spike.
Specific,
Yeah.
you have shot charts where everybody swings, and it's like this guy's 85% down the line, this guy's 15% cross, this other guy in the middle either hits left or right, he never goes straight ahead.
I don't imagine Rummy is a big data user.
Oh, he is a huge statistics guy.
Really?
Yeah, surprising to me too.
Wow, that's awesome to know.
He loves his statistics.
Really? Good. So think about it. That is a BI application. It is taking operational data, right? Operational data, and trying to analyze and come up with results that we can use, for our organization, whether it be a volleyball team, a baseball team, a retailer, to make us more competitive. Okay. Another example in your book says business intelligence for predictive policing. So big cities use this to say, they look at crime reports and they say where were the most crimes at what time of the day. So then they distribute their officers in such a way that they're saying, well, we're likely to have crimes here at this time, so we're going to put more people here and less people over here. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, that might be bad, but it's based on data. And another thing that these companies can do is they don't look just for buying patterns, but they look for changes in your buying patterns. Why do your buying patterns change? Why would your buying patterns change? Like what you buy and the kinds of things you buy. Give me an example of why your buying pattern would change. All right. Marriage, what else, Dan? Having kids, what else, Dan? Graduating college, good, Dan. Well, you're on a roll, man. What else? Okay, very good. Did they have a baby? Did you have that? Any major life event changes the way you buy things. So I think I gave you guys this example earlier in this class. But Target, for example, a lot of people don't go to Target and say, hey, guess what, I'm pregnant, right? And you don't do that, yes? But Target was able to say, I'm going to look at people's buying patterns, and when they change, when they buy like this lotion and this, we think they're pregnant. So what does Target use that information to do? They say, hey, it looks like they're buying these lotions and I don't know, whatever you buy when you're newly pregnant. And they start marketing to you, right? So your flyers come out and they start being like, baby products, right? They know, and it's very, very, they can say, well, they probably got pregnant around here, and in 7 months, this is when they're going to have a baby. So now they know, hey, this is where we market cribs, this is where we market formula, this is where we market diapers, all those things. And an example in your book talks about a father whose teenage daughter, he was upset, he went to Target and he said, hey, why are you guys sending my daughter all these pregnancy flyers? She's not pregnant. And, he got really mad, and then she came to me and said, yes, I am. So Target knew that she was pregnant before her dad did, right? So you think about that. It's crazy kind of stuff. Right? You're not going to go tell the Target cashier you're pregnant, but based on what you buy, they can tell where you're at in your life event. Isn't that kind of crazy? Right? So this is what business intelligence applications are all about. So we give these to knowledge workers, and we can make good decisions. So let's go a little bit further, and I want to talk about the 3 primary activities in the BI process. A business intelligence process. The first one is, we talked about where we get this data from. Operational, social data, purchase data, employee knowledge. The first one is we want to obtain the data, right? We need to get it from somewhere. From those 4 sources, we need to obtain the data. But we don't just obtain the data, we have to do some things with it. Okay? We have to obtain it, but we have to clean it. What do you think we mean by clean data? And it's not like filthy, it's not dirty. What do you think? That is the word we use, dirty data, but it's not like physically dirty. What do you think what we mean by the term dirty data? What do you think we mean by the term, I guess it throws in the slides here.
Is that like data that's essentially useless to you? So you have to get rid of it so that you only have valuable information?
Okay, typically in the world of business intelligence applications, we want more data, not less, right? We usually don't get rid of any data. Hell, Amazon keeps track of every click you've made since the beginning you started using Amazon. They never get rid of it. They say, you wouldn't think there'd be any value in what you clicked on 12 years ago. They keep Facebook, everything you've ever done, where you click, what you like. They know, who you're stalking on Facebook. They know all that stuff, right? It's crazy the amount of data they know. They don't get rid of anything, okay? But we want to use it for an application. A lot of times the data isn't exactly in the form we need for this application. We kind of call that dirty data, right? The operational data that we get from swiping over Torbian might not be in the right format for something we want to do to decide, when's it going to be our rush hour at Torbian? Or, what's the demographics of people that eat lunch the day before a break, right? I don't know why we'd want that, but, maybe it's not formatted that right way. So when we talk about data, when we talk about dirty data, it means that sometimes there might be missing values. Okay, data that we just don't have the data for, right? It's empty, so we want to adjust for that. Maybe inconsistent data. For example, maybe one source that we acquired data from says your phone number is this, and the other source says your phone number is this. Well, you really only have maybe one phone number, so there's something wrong. It's inconsistent. We need to decide, which one we use, right? This one source maybe has this is your address, this source is your address. We need to decide which one to use. Data not integrated. This is a big problem, right? So if you think about it, if we're pulling all this data from different sources, and in their database alone, it's good because we have a key that identifies, this is Aaron, this is John. But when we're pulling database from all these sources, we need to say, this is the John Miko that lives in Portage, Pennsylvania, right? This is the John Miko that teaches at St. Francis University, and we need to bring it together to say, this is the John Miko, right? So this is what we're trying to do when we talk about, cleaning the data. Okay, so we go back here, we say, obtain the data, clean it, organize it, relate it, and then catalog it. Okay, so we place it somewhere. We place it somewhere, we're going to call that place a data warehouse, but we're not quite there. So the first step is we acquire the data. We get it from wherever the sources are, and we catalog. Think about it like putting it on the shelf. Like, here's all the data we have on John Miko. Let's put it on the shelf in our data warehouse. The second thing is we perform analysis. And by the way, I'd like you guys to bring if you don't bring your laptops in, bring your laptops on Wednesday because we're going to do some data analysis, right? We'll do something called RFM analysis. We'll start talking about market basket analysis, but I want to show you some RFM analysis. So perform analysis, reporting, data mining, big data, knowledge management. We'll talk about all those things. And then we publish reports. We get the data out to the knowledge workers, and we're all, think about it, none of you are going to be on heavy labor. You're going to be part of knowledge workers, right? Your value to a company is what you know and what you can use this data for. So knowledge workers. So our third step is to publish the results. When we say publish the results, I think we talked about this. There are push reports and pull reports. What's the difference? I think we've talked about this in the past. What's push versus pull reports? What's the difference between a push report and a pull report? Sarah?
Push, you get whether you want it or not. We pull is when you try it.
Okay, push report, very good. Comes out, it's a monthly statement. You didn't ask for it, just comes out every month. Pull is, hey, John Miko wants to see all students that have between a 3.0 and 3.5 GPA, that are management marketing majors, that are out of state, okay? And I want it right now. So that's a pull report, right? It's an ad hoc report. It's for a certain function, okay? So the three primary processes in BI applications are to acquire the data, to clean it, to perform the analysis, and to publish the results. Okay, so let's, we got like 3 or 4 minutes. Let's talk over here again. So we talked about dirty data, missing values, inconsistent data, data integrated. Data can also be the wrong granularity. It can be too fine or too coarse. What do you think that means? Too fine or too coarse? What do you think that means? Eric?
It's either too specific or
Fair. Okay, if it's too fine, it means it's too specific for the purpose that I want, right? If I am, I don't know, the senior vice president at Walmart and I'm in charge of the Northeast, I don't want to know specifically, how many people at the Emmitsburg Walmart bought bananas, right? That's too fine. If I'm trying to decide, where our produce is going for the next, 5 years, right? That's too fine of detail. We usually want all that data because sometimes we do want to drill down to that level, but usually that's too fine for our purpose. Too coarse is a worse problem to have. Too coarse means we want that detail, but we don't have it, right? We're trying to determine, how many bananas they have in stock at the Emmitsburg Walmart for this week, but we don't have it. We just have produce sales for the Northeast. That's too coarse, right? So too fine is better than too coarse because fine can always be aggregated up. Too much data is typically, not really an issue. Okay, if you analyze it correctly, we we can always filter it. We can always get down to the nugget, the grain that we are interested in. So thinking about the retail application, one of the things I forgot to mention is, how does Target know you are who you are? Or how do they know, like when we mentioned that pregnancy app, how do they know who you are and you're buying these things? What do stores do so they know who you are? Yeah, you think about it. Think about what Sheetz knows about you. You shop at Sheetz, Dan? Okay, what do they know about you? Yeah. Where, what time, right? They know all those things about you. And because that Sheetz card, that loyalty card, right? You get what, 3% off gas, and if you get 10 MTOs, right? So they're paying you to say, we would like, all they're really saying is, we would like to store data about you, right? We want to gather data about you so we can market you better, so we can make more money off you, so we can understand our store better. We'll give you a card, and if you swipe that card so we know it's you, we'll give you some perks, right? And that's exactly what loyalty cards are all about, right? Now, even if they don't have a loyalty card program, if you don't use cash, use a credit card, they still know it's you, right? Because you're using John Miko's credit card, so they still know it's you. All right. This is exciting stuff. I really think this is an exciting aspect of management information systems. The things we are heading toward. You guys are just on the cusp of it. So it kind of combines MIS and statistics, so we can use this information to compete better against other organizations. Bring your laptops on Wednesday. We will use Excel to do some business intelligence application. Small application, but we will. Have a great day. Take some candy on your way out if you'd like, or some Pop-Tarts.
Just ask tomorrow, so we'll get back to Pittsburgh.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do
No.
or something.
What are we doing tomorrow?
I
I'll record.
was
I'll
gonna watch
record.
the video.
Yeah, I'll record tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Have fun. See you.
Do you just keep this then?
Me? No. You give it to the registrar's office.
Okay. Yeah. I can.
Professional science. That's everything, yeah. Google Pen, we're